And welcome back to my channel. I am Dr. Suraiya Shahin, and today I am here with the second part of June 2011. I have already dealt the half part of June 2011 and today I will deal the second part. इसमें 50 क्वेश्चंस है टोटल, क्योंकि पहले पेपर 2 में क्वेश्चन 50 पूछे जाते थे। तो मैंने इसमें आपको लगभग 25 क्वेश्चंस मैं आपको डील कर चुकी हूँ. देन आई विल स्टार्ट द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टुडे from 26, right? So the question is here: the character Nathan Zuckerman is associated with the fiction of. ये जो कैरेक्टर है नथान जुकरमन, यह कौन से राइटर के फिक्शन से रिलेटेड कैरेक्टर है? फर्स्ट इज नॉर्मन मिलर, सेकेंड इज सॉल बेलो, थर्ड इज फिलिप रोथ एंड द लास्ट इज बर्नार्ड मलमंड. It was the Nathan Zuckerman. It is the character from the fiction of Philip Roth, and he appears first in My Life as a novel. ये जो नॉवेल है My Life है, उसमें ये कैरेक्टर आता है. Then in The Ghost Writer also appears in that fiction as in Zuckerman Unbound. So your correct answer would be here Philip Roth. Nathan Zuckerman is character in the fiction of Philip Roth. Next question is here: Plato censored poetry because he believed it. First option is eliminates the ego. Second, promotes sensuality. Third, distorts reality. Last, cripples the imagination. Plato's theory is very important for your examination point of view. UGC examination point of view. Plato, actually, according to Plato, poetry is twice removed from reality. It is the copy of the copy, hence it can't create reality, it distorts reality. So a correct answer would be here distort reality. And it was his disciple Aristotle who challenged his concept. Aristotle said no, it is possible that poetry can distort poetry is the creation of imitation, but it doesn't mean that it can't give reality. According to Aristotle, the poet creates something new by imitating. So imitation is also requirement, and in imitation he creates something new. So Plato's theory is very different from Aristotle. Next question is: which of the following Tennyson poems is a dramatic monologue? कौन सा monologue है टेनिसन का? In Memoriam. Second is the Charge of the Light Brigade. Third is Crossing the Bar, and the last is Titonus. So it was Titonus. It was Titonus, that is written by Tennyson, and this is the dramatic monologue. And the in the dramatic monologue, so your correct answer would be here Titonus, and because Tennyson's Titonus is dramatic monologue. Next is the character Giovanni features in one of the following texts. First option is John Cland's Fanny Hill. Second option is John Ford's Pity She is a Whore. Third is John Brain's Room at the Top, and fourth is John Evelyn's Diaries. So it is John Ford's It is Pity She is a Whore, where the character Giovanni features. Next question is here: which of the following poems feature the phrase "the still sad music of humanity"? Guess who is the poet? Still sad music of humanity, it was said by the very romantic poet and called the priest of the nature, that is William Wordsworth. Your first option is Ode to Intimation of Immortality from Recollections of Early Childhood. Second, Michael. Third, Solitary Reaper. And fourth is Tintern Abbey. So in Tintern Abbey, Wordsworth said the still sad music of humanity. So your correct answer would be here D. Next question is: Molly Bloom is a character in James Joyce. First option is A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. Second is Dubliners. Third is Ulysses, and fourth is Exiles. So Molly Bloom is a character in James Joyce Ulysses. And James Joyce, he is a very important novelist who talks about the a stream of consciousness. Very important. Next question is Eliot uses the term objective correlative in his essay. First, the metaphysical poets. Second, Hamlet. Third is tradition and the individual talent. And last is Dante. So Eliot uses the term objective correlative in his essay. It was Hamlet. And the essay was, the full title was Hamlet and His Problem, where he talks about objective correlative. And what is objective correlative? Actually, objective correlative is a theory by T.S. Eliot, where he talks that the characters is loaded with the powerful feelings which he expressed through the powerful symbols, and that he associate with objective correlative, that he calls objective correlative in his Hamlet on his problem. Next question is Seamus Heaney was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year. First is 1995, second 1996, 1997 and 1998. Seamus Heaney was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1995. So the correct answer would be here A. Next question is the pamphlet on the Irish condition and address to the Irish people was composed by. First option is W.B. Yeats, second is P.B. Shelley, third is Jonathan Swift, and fourth is G.B. Shaw. So it was P.B. Shelley, an address of the Irish people, and this is a pamphlet by P.B. Shelley that describes the Irish condition. Next question is which of the following arrangements of the English novel is correct in chronological sequence? I already told you that chronological sequence आपको कई बार पूछा जाता है. So Kim a Passage to India, Sons and Lovers, Brave New World. तो इसके लिए क्या है कि आपको पब्लिकेशन डेट पता होना चाहिए. Kim was published in 1901. Then Sons and Lover, it was published in 1913. The Passage of India, it was published in 1924, and Brave New World, it was published in 1932. So the correct answer would be here C. Kim, Sons and Lovers, then Passage to India, then Brave New World. Next question is verses on the death of Dr. Swift is written by. First is Alexander Pope, second is Samuel Johnson, third is John Gane, and last is Jonathan Swift. So verses on the death of Dr. Swift was written by Jonathan Swift. यानी कि ये जो जोनाथन स्विफ्ट थे ना, ये वर्सेस ऑन द डेथ ऑफ डॉक्टर स्विफ्ट, ये अपने डेथ का एज्यूम्सन करके प्रिडिक्शन करके इन्होंने खुद ही इस चीज़ को लिखा था. वर्सेस ऑन द डेथ ऑफ डॉक्टर स्विफ्ट, इट वाज रिटन बाय जोनाथन स्विफ्ट हिमसेल्फ. उन्होंने खुद ही इसको लिखा था. विडोवर्स हाउस वाज रिटन बाय ऑस्कर वाइल्ड, T.S. Eliot, जॉन गाल्सवर्दी, G.B. Shaw. नो, वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन. यह G.B. Shaw ने ही लिखा था. योर करेक्ट आंसर इज G.B. Shaw. G.B. Shaw से एक्चुअली आपके एग्जामिनेशन में क्या पूछा जाता है? यूजुअली आपको ये तो कैरेक्टर्स पूछते हैं या तो टाइटल पूछते हैं वर्क के. ये दो चीज़ अगर आप ध्यान रखते हैं बर्नार्ड शॉ से, तो आप इजिली उनके क्वेश्चन का आप अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं. हु अमंग द फॉलोइंग मार्क्सिस्ट क्रिटिक हैज रिकॉग्नाइज्ड द क्लासिक प्रॉब्लम ऑफ बेस एंड सुपर स्ट्रक्चर इन रिलेशन टू लिटरेचर. इसमें से अब ये मार्क्सिस्ट थियोरी से आपका क्वेश्चन है. यू कैन से फ्रॉम द कल्चरल स्टडीज से आपका यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन पूछा जा रहा है. तो इसमें से कौन सा है? एडमंड विल्सन, रेमंड विलियमसन, लूसियन गोल्डमैन, वाल्टर बेंजामिन. हु टॉक्स अबाउट द बेस एंड स्ट्रक्चर. बेस एंड स्ट्रक्चर की बात कौन करता है इसमें से? इट वॉज मार्क्सिस्ट थियरिस्ट, इट वॉज रेमंड विलियम्स. सो ये करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी हेयर. वैसे बेस एंड स्ट्रक्चर इट वाज आल्सो स्टार्टेड बाय Karl Marx. He also talks about base and structure and capitalist. So and Raymond William also comes in that category. Next is heteroglossia refers to the multiple readings of a text, the juxtaposition of multiple voices in a text. Third is the comments on the margins of the text, and the last is the gloss or commentary relating to the text. जो heteroglossia जो है यह literary term you can say. So heteroglossia refers to a diversity of voice. यानी ये जो है heteroglossia जो कहता है ये डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ वॉइस यानी कि मल्टीप्लिसिटी ऑफ वॉइस, यानी कि एक टेक्स्ट को जो रीडर्स है वो कई तरीके से पढ़ सकते हैं, राइट। कई रीडर कई तरह से पढ़ सकते हैं, एक रीडर उसको कई तरीके से भी पढ़ सकते हैं। सो दैट इज हेटेरोग्लोसिया, जो वर्ड एक्चुअली यह नॉवेल के लिए यूज किया जाता है, और यह इसका मतलब होता है द मल्टीपल रीडिंग्स ऑफ ए टेक्स्ट, यानी कि द मल्टीपल वॉइस ऑफ ए टेक्स्ट, कैसे आप उसको पढ़ सकते हैं। सो ये करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी हियर ए। नेक्स्ट इज मार्गरेट ड्रेबल इज द ऑथर ऑफ द मेमोइर्स ऑफ ए सर्वाइवर, द Witch of Exmoor, third is the Service of Clouds, and the last is the Godless in Eden. So your correct answer would be the Witch of Exmoor. Margaret Drabble has written the Witch of Exmoor, so your correct answer would be the Witch of Exmoor. Next question is MacFlacno is an attack on Dryden's literary rival. First is Richard Flacno, second is Thomas Sadwell, third is John Wilmot, and the last is Matthew Proud. So Mac Flacno is an attack on Dryden's literary rival, and it was Thomas Sadwell. You know, Thomas Sadwell पे उसने अटैक किया था जॉन ड्राइडन ने, क्योंकि जॉन ड्राइडन, you know, he was a satirist, critic and satirist. So he wrote Mac Flacno and he attacked Thomas Sadwell in it. So next question is here, 18th century writers use satire frequently for. First is attacking human vices and follies, second is inciting the reading public, third is glorifying the culture of the upper classes, and the last is प्लीजिंग देयर वीमेन रीडर्स। जो 18 सेंचुरी में क्या हुआ था, सटायर बहुत लिखा गया था, तो यह किस पर्पस से एक्चुअली लिखा गया था, तो इसका जो है एक्चुअली अटैकिंग ह्यूमन वाइसेस एंड फॉलीज, यानी कि इसका मेन पर्पस था उस टाइम जो ह्यूमन वाइसेस एंड फॉलीज थे उसको उस पर अटैक किया था। जैसे कि अलेक्जेंडर पोप है, जॉन ड्राइडन है, डॉक्टर जॉनसन है, ये सारे 18th सेंचुरी राइटर्स है, और ये सारे इन्होंने क्या किया है अपने लिटरेरी वर्क्स के थ्रू, दे हैव सैटिराइज्ड देयर सोसाइटी, दे हैव अटैक्ड ह्यूमन वाइसेस एंड फॉलीज, दे डिडंट जस्ट डिपिक्ट the picture of the society, actually they wanted to correct the vices of the society. So that is the correct answer, A. Next question is Byron's The Vision of Judgment is a satire directed against. Byron का जो Vision of Judgment वो satire है किसके against में, चार्ल्स स्टैम, जॉन किट्स, हेनरी हेलेन एंड रॉबर्ट साउथेन. So it was Robert Southey. Byron has written The Vision of the Judgment and against Robert Southey. Next question is Tom Paine The Right of Man was published in. Right of Man कब हुआ था पब्लिश? फर्स्ट इज थॉमस पेन का 1790, 1791, 1792, 1793. सो यू नो इट वाज 1790. काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बुक है थॉमस पेन की, राइट ऑफ मैन. आई थिंक एवरीवन शुड रीड राइट ऑफ मैन बाय थॉमस पेन. एक्चुअली ही टॉक्स अबाउट द ह्यूमन राइट्स इन दिस बुक, राइट ऑफ मैन, एंड so you must go through this book. And next question is Andrew Marvell's An Orosian Ode upon Cromwell's return from Ireland was written in 1647, 1649, 1650, 1648. So it was written in 1650. So your correct answer would be here C. And you know it is in the An Horatian Ode upon Cromwell's return from Ireland. It's written in the form of political address, right? Next question is here, the rhyme of ancient mariner is about. This is a very easy question. Rhyme of ancient mariner किस बारे में है? A perilous adventure in the sea. Second is the accidental killing of an octopus. Third is the curse of a sea god, and the last is the guilt and expansion of the ancient mariner. Actually the rhyme of ancient mariner is a ballad and it talks about the guilt and exploitation. वो कैसे उसमें जो एल्बेस्ट्रॉस एक पक्षी होता है, बर्ड है, उसको मार देता है और उसका गिल्ट होता है और कैसे इसका पनिशमेंट वो फील करता है, right? So he talks about that, those things. So the correct answer would be here D, guilt and exploitation. Next question is Two Daffodils is a poem written by Robert Herrick. Second is William Wordsworth. Third is John Keats, and last is P.B. Shelley. Two Daffodils, it was written by Robert Herrick. अब इसमें भी स्टूडेंट कई बार कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे क्योंकि आपको विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ दे दिया, वर्ड्सवर्थ लिखा है डैफोडिल्स, लेकिन आपको यहाँ पर क्या है, टू डैफोडिल्स। वर्ड्सवर्थ रोट डैफोडिल्स, लेकिन रॉबर्ट हार्डिंग ने लिखा है टू डैफोडिल्स। तो यहीं पर आप क्वेश्चन कंफ्यूज करने के लिए आपको नेट में देते हैं इस तरह से। स्टूडेंट क्या करेंगे, यहाँ टू डैफोडिल्स देखेंगे, वर्ड्सवर्थ देखेंगे, टिक लगाएंगे, नहीं, यहाँ पर आपको कंफ्यूज किया जाता है। यहाँ पे रॉबर्ट हार्डिंग करेक्ट आंसर होगा, जिसने टू डैफोडिल पोएम लिखा है। And Robert Harrick, he is also known for Hesperdes, right? Book of poems. Next question is, which of the following novels reconstructs the historical events of the Indian Mutiny? First is The Jewel in the Crown, second is The Siege of Krishnapur, third is The Day of the Scorpion, and the last is The Towers of Silence. So it was the Siege of Krishnapur. The novel recounts the historical event of Indian Mutiny and it was written by J.G. Farrell. यह नॉवेल है, काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपको पढ़ने चाहिए। और यह इसका फिक्शनल इंडियन टाउन कृष्णापुर में यह सेटिंग दिया गया है। एंड टॉक्स अबाउट ड्यूरिंग द इंडियन रिवेलियन ऑफ 1857 का यहाँ इसमें वह इंसिडेंट जो इवेंट है उसके बारे में डिस्क्रिप्शन इसमें दिया गया है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, इंग्लैंड माई इंग्लैंड इज अ पोएम बाय, किसने लिखा है? W.E. हेनले, E.A. हाउसमैन, सेकेंड R.L. स्टीवेंसन, and the last is Rudyard Kipling. It was Ernest Hemingway, right? So England, my England, he has written. So the correct answer would be here A. Next question, and this is the last question from this paper. Shelley was expelled from the Oxford University due to the publication of. Shelley को ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी से एक्सपेल कर दिया गया था एक बुक पब्लिश होने की वजह से। कौन सी बुक थी? फर्स्ट द रिवोल्ट ऑफ इस्लाम, सेकेंड इज द नेसेसिटी ऑफ अथीज्म, थर्ड इज द ट्रैम्प ऑफ लाइफ, एंड द लास्ट इज द मास्क ऑफ एनार्की। सो ये करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी हियर द नेसेसिटी ऑफ एथीज्म। इस बुक की वजह से उनसे ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी से एक्सपेल कर दिया गया था, बिकॉज हेयर ही एक्चुअली इन द नेसेसिटी ऑफ एथीज्म शेली challenged the existence of God. That's why he was it became the controversial book and he was expelled from the Oxford University. So these are the questions from this paper and this is the last question. This was the last question. 50 क्वेश्चन ही पूछे गए थे इस पेपर में. थैंक यू.